Everyone, this is Lori from the Crafting Auntie back with you with another video. Welcome all my new subscribers and all of those of you that have been with me. I'm glad you're here today. So today I want to put together a flip-flop journal using envelopes and just some cardstock and also some decorative paper. I'm using some decorative paper that is from Polka Art Studio, and it is Autumn Serenade papers. So I'll just kind of show you what they look like. I've already got these cut to size to save some time. Let's see, I think some of these are exactly the same, and then I think there's this one. So what I'm going to use is 3 envelopes that are about 9 3/8 by about 4 1/8. And then instead of using smaller envelopes like I've done on other ones, I've made 2 pieces of cardstock and then I've scored them just a 1/4 inch on one side. So this I'm going to use for the front flap part. And I have made these about 4 3/8 by 6. And you can use any size you want. You can make these different, or you can also use a smaller envelope. I just wanted to do these a little different. I just wanted them to be flip outs. So on this particular one, that's what I want to do. So I've already done a little bit of prep work. So my first envelope, the large one, I tucked in the flap. The second one, I opened it up, and it's going to get glued right there. And then the third one, I decided to leave closed, but I'm not going to make any of these pockets. I'm going to add pockets to the top, so all of these will end up being closed up by paper being put on. So let's just get started and we'll put this together. So let me just show you again. I've just tucked in the flap. So we'll just tuck that in. And then I used a letter opener and opened the sides here and here. So this will lay flat. So let's just glue this flap onto here. And I'm just going to add the glue right to the flap. I'm using my larger bottle of glue. I'm trying to use it up because it's been around a while. I bought some new, but I want to try and use up as much as I can of this on projects. So this is art glitter glue, and if you watch me, this is normally what I use. Now you want to get close to where this envelope folds, but you want to leave just a little bit so that it folds freely. So then you can just test it and make sure that it folds freely, like that. So there's our first one. And then this one, really easy. We're going to just glue it right to these flaps. So I'm getting it as close as I can and adjusting it. And I want to make sure that it also moves freely. So, and if there's anything peeking out, we can always trim it. Now that I've got it, whoops, I just moved it. Now that I got it in place, I wanted to go ahead and lift up one side and glue it down. This part is probably just a little bit harder, making sure it's in place. So I'm just going to lift up this side and add some glue. And then if there's any places that I've missed by doing it this way, then we'll catch them when we turn it over. Just like that. And I'm going to turn it over just to check it and make sure that everything is glued down okay. And of course we're going to be covering this, so it's going to have more papers, but I want to make sure that this is at least glued in place. Okay, so we've got that. And then I want to go ahead and add my little card pieces. So how this folds is this piece will go, get it turned around, will go here. Let's just go ahead and glue this on. And I don't want it to be completely in the center, so I'm going to just come down a little bit, and then we'll add glue. Glue this piece down. Now while I have it this way, so it will flip out this way, and then this will come in like this. You'll raise this up and fold here, and then this will come down this way. So you're making like a W or an M. And on this back piece is where I'm going to put this other piece of cardstock. Let me just fold that. And so when we have this folded the way we want it, then this piece is going to get put right here. And I think I'm going to go just a little bit higher on the back piece. And this creates your flip-flop. You can also use small envelopes. You can open them up. I didn't like the look of mine, the way mine looked when it was opened up, so that's why I decided to make these card pieces. Okay, so it would open this way, this way, this way, this way, and then open this way, and this way. Okay, so with the flip-flop, you've got several places for signatures. So let me just show you that quickly. I've already prepared my signatures, and as I do a flip through later, I will show you how those are going to go. So I think what I'm going to do is turn it this way. So the first signature would go here. The second signature would go here. The third signature would go here. And then you would flip it over. Your fourth signature goes here, and your fifth signature goes here. And that's what makes it a flip-flop. So it's almost like it's a never-ending journal in a way. Now I've made these journal pages to be just a little bit smaller. When I go to sew them in, I'll make sure that they're even, so they're a little bit smaller than what my largest envelopes are. So that's how that is going to work. So I'm just going to take all these signatures out once again. And I've added some bags and some doilies and some original vintage ephemera. And as we go through a flip through at the end, I will show you all of that. So now we want to do all the covering of our pieces. So on these two flat pieces in the front, so we should have a total, we have, let's just count these. So we have one that's going to go here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so we should have 8. So let's go through that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we want 2 for the front. So as I go through and place these on, I'll be alternating these papers because I was able to get 2 out of each page. So I figure I'd put 1 on each side and do it that way. And then what was left over, it's what I put into my signatures here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up everything on the envelope. I'm also going to be inking up all of these pages, and then I'll come back and we will continue adding these to the flip-flop. Okay, I have everything inked. All the envelopes, the flaps, both sides are inked. And I've inked all of the pages, and then I've also cut down these that will go on here like this. So we can start gluing them on. So I want to kind of strategically do this. So I'm thinking I want to see what's going to go well with this. I'm thinking this one will go well with this piece underneath. So we're just going to start gluing. And then I'll just see what's going to go with each one as we go along. And this is probably the most time consuming, other than inking everything and cutting everything, is just getting everything put on. But you want to put it to where you're happy with it. And I just cut these just a little bit smaller so that they'd have just a tiny bit of a border. And on this side, I printed another sheet, and I thought this would go really well. So I'm going to put this one here. And I did the same paper on the back flap on the inside as well. I just wanted to not waste too much paper on this. So I just printed one, and then I'll just use it front and back. And it's got some lots of pages in between. Let's see. I think this is a right side up. Some of these are kind of hard to tell if they're right side up or not. And again, I am not making any pockets within the envelopes. I will be adding pockets. So this is the Autumn Serenade decorative papers that I'm using currently. And I'm going to pair it with Autumn in the City. Both are from Polka Art Studio. I had all kinds of ephemera that I had printed, and when I did the folio the other day, let's see, I think this is right side up. So I am trying to be really good about not printing things and then not using them. So if I didn't use it on one project, I'm trying to use it on another. Okay. So let's just do this back side. So we've got this one, and we have that there. So let's see what's going to go well. Let's do this. And I like the birds. Okay, so let's do these pages. So I had printed a lot of ephemera from the Autumn in the City kit, and then didn't end up using much of it in the folio that I just did, which is the front flap with a magnet. So I thought it would be perfect to use it with this. Just trying to make sure I get these going the right way. Don't want one upside down and one right side up. And I'm trying to make sure I get them even with the page before. So just take your time on this. These are a lot of fun to make. And you can make them as simple or as difficult. You can make them with hardly any decoration, and then just do some decoration as you work in it, if that's what you like to do. I'm not much of a journaler. I'm learning to journal, but yeah, I'm still not there. So I do more decorating than journaling in my journals. So again, I'm just lining it up. These birds are so cute. All right, let's see. So we've used that. Now we haven't used this one. So let's do that on this page. You can also use glue stick if you wanted to, if that's the glue you had, or any other glue that you have on this. I typically don't use glue stick unless I'm going to be stitching, and I don't plan on stitching on this. This is the right way. But stitching would be awesome on these. Would really give it a lot of different textures. All right. So let's see. Let's get this folded back up. And we'll turn it over. And let's put this piece right here. Then as I'm putting on these other pages, I'll make sure that the other side isn't the same paper, because again, I was trying to use paper and not print a whole bunch and waste it. Let's see. This one's kind of hard to tell. I think it's this way. And if you haven't checked out Polka Art Studio, I always leave a link to their YouTube, and then I will be leaving the links to her Etsy shop for these kits that I'm using here, so you can check her out. Okay, so got that. And now we're going to fold it this way. Okay, so I have that paper. So I think I'm going to put the birds here. Helps if you have it right side up. Just make sure everything else is right side up. Yes. Okay. Get this glued down. I have decided to play in my room for the next few days. It's going to be extremely hot here in where I live in Moreno Valley in Southern California. 106 today, 110 tomorrow, and then 111. Yeah, not looking forward to that. I think I'm going to put this one here. I think it goes, I think it's this way. Okay, so got that one glued on, and then I think I'm going to put this one, because it's then wouldn't be on the other side. And so let's glue this one on. I think I got this right side up. This one's kind of easy. It's got some newsprint behind it. I like that. And then this one will go here. And the only thing is that this one here, but it's a flip out. I'm not too worried about that one. I kind of figured I'd have one that might be right next to each other, but that's all right. We're okay with that. And again, like I said earlier, I am not making pockets within these envelopes. I have a whole bunch of the Ephemera pockets from the Autumn in the City kit. Okay, so now we have it all. Gotta make sure I get it folded right. There we go. So we have this, and then here, 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 and here. Okay. So now let's see. Let's go ahead and figure out which signatures we want where, and then we'll go ahead and get those stitched in as well. So let's see, what do we want here? I think I want something, and I want to make sure I have these going the right way as well. Because some of these things are, I have some old vintage checks, and some of it is old vintage documents, and I want to make sure they're going the right way. I like these fall leaves to go right here. And then let's see what's next. I think this one would look really good here. Let me just kind of give this a cursory look. Looks like everything is the right way. So I think that one looks good there. And let's do this one. I think everything's okay with this one. And I'll make sure everything is lined up correctly. Whoops. I guess it would be... Okay, so we got this one, signature here, flip it over. Let's do this one here and this one here. So I think that will look good. Okay, so let me grab my stitching in goodies, And I think I'm just going to use this color of wax thread and pokey tool and then my needle. And I'll do one and then I'll do the rest of them off camera, and that way I won't waste all of your time. Let me close up my glue real quick so it doesn't get dried up on me. There we go. Okay, so typically what I do is, because this is long, we are going to do 3 lengths. However, in this case, we're only going to be sewing in right here. So for this one and the back one, I'm going to do 3 lengths from here. And let me grab my scissors. So I'll need 2 this size. And it's only because the front ones are short. So they'll get stitched in here and on the other side there. So that we've got those. Now the rest of them are going to get stitched in the longer area. So these we are going to need 3 times the length of these larger envelopes. So 1, 2, 3. And then we need 3 of these because we have a total of 5 signatures. And 3 of them are the longer ones. 2 and 3. Now you can use embroidery floss as well. And I also have been watching a lot of Carolyn Musings. Vanessa uses a lot of embroidery floss, and then she will also add on some wax. And so I did happen to look out in Amazon, and it's beeswax for embroidery thread. So in case you're interested in that kind of thing, that is what she used. And so but I like the waxed. I would use more embroidery thread probably if I had that wax. Okay, so I want to just put these in line. And since this is going to be more up here, I want to make sure I'm at least capturing my doily and my bag at least a couple of times. So I think I'm going to move the bag up and this up and the check up a little bit. Do it any way you want. I have some shorter pieces in here, so I want to make sure I'm capturing at least as much as I can. Okay. I'm going to take my pokey tool. I'm just going to wing this. I am not measuring or anything. Please feel free to measure however you decide is best for you. I'm going to grab some clips real quick. I like using these because they're long, and anything that's kind of short in here, it will hold on to for me. So I like putting one there and on the other side. Now this is ready for me to get it situated where I want it. And then I'm just going to add a little clip right here just so that it doesn't move on me. And I'm going to remove this one. Okay, take your pokey tool, and I'm going to just come down here probably like about 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make a hole there. And I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure everything is tucked in there nicely, so sometimes it slips on you. And I'm going to do the same thing about 1/2 inch. I'm capturing a doily here, so I'm trying to be careful. And then in the center, right about there. Then I'm going to start in the center hole and go back in through the top or the bottom, whichever you want to do. Trying to make sure I'm capturing everything. There we go. And pull that up and then down through the bottom. And if you went through the bottom first, then you would go through the top and then back through the center. Just be careful you don't split the threads when you're doing this. And then you basically want to come out on the other side of this thread. So I don't know if you can see that. I've got one on each side. So coming up like that. And then pull it through, pull your needle off, and then just give it a good tug. Make sure this looks tight here. And then 2 knots, right over left and left over right. Gives you a nice tight knot. Snip off the excess. You can take off your clips. And we have our first signature in. So I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, and then I'll come back to you and show you what I've put in. Okay, all the signatures are in. So let's just do a little flip through. Just do it quickly. Lots of vintage ephemera. Next signature. And on the back of these, I just did like a tea dye digital that I had on the back of those pages. And then we have this, some ledger, again, more vintage documents. And then flip it over to this side. And we have this. Looks like I have a document upside down and a check, but I'm okay with that. I think it gives it some character, so I'm leaving that. It can get a little confusing when you're sewing these in as to which way you go when you're trying to get all the signatures in. So if you're okay with it, great. And if you're not, then go back through and untie it and redo it. I'm okay with it because I like to have a little bit of character in it. Okay. So I have a bunch of ephemera, like I had said, that is from Autumn in the City. And I've got some tags here. Just quickly show you. I got some little cards, more tags. And I just thought what I'd do is add some pockets, add some of these tags. It's got quite a few. Another journaling card, another one here. I've got these pockets, got some tickets and some other pockets and some butterflies. So I just thought what I would do is just see what I would put where. And just start gluing it on. Now I've backed these with some cardstock so that they aren't flimsy, but you could have left them on paper, but they were just a little bit too flimsy for me, and I didn't want something to get torn if I put a tag in there. Okay, so I'm just going to add some pockets here and there, and then we'll add some ephemera. Some of these, oh, this one looked good here. Let's add a pocket here. And all of these I had already inked and then backed them. So we'll just get the pockets on first, and then we'll go from there. And I don't want to add a whole lot of stuff. Maybe on this one, let's add a pocket here. You can add lace, you can add ribbon, any kind of trim you have. I'll probably continue working on this after I've completed it with you, because I probably would like to add some additional laces and things like that. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll just do a short flip through again. But I thought we'd at least do a little bit of decorating. And I normally would add eyelets, but I'm not going to add any eyelets. I'm trying not to add too awful much bulk. So this one I think I'll glue on 2 sides. And I'll make that like a little tuck spot. Both of these kits have beautiful papers. I didn't even use all of the papers in the Serenade decorative paper kit. There were more. I just picked out what I thought would be really nice for an autumn flip-flop. And let's do this one here. On these you can layer these as pockets. I decided to use these individually. You can do them either way. I just want to get these on here first so that they have a chance to dry before we start putting anything in them. I think on this one I'm going to put it here, and again I'm going to just do 2 sides. Then we can tuck. We have quite a few tags, so we'll just add some more of those. Because this is taller, you could also add some tall pockets. There is one tall pocket set that I think I do want to use. I need to cut out this half circle, so let's do that. And I'll ink that up. And then we'll fold over the edges. It's going to be kind of a sturdy pocket because I did back this with some of the craft cardstock. It's not a real heavy cardstock, but after you get the paper on it and glue, it does become just a little bit more heavy, but that's okay. You can also print this on a thinner cardstock. I just didn't have it in the printer at the time, which is why I backed these with the craft cardstock. So just a little bit tougher to get things folded over. Just burnish it down really good. And I'm kind of thinking I want to put this here. I'll see, maybe this way, because this goes inside. So make sure that can go in. Let me just adjust these a little bit. Make sure that this piece can go in. A little tight. So let's just make this just a tiny bit bigger. I probably folded it way too far. There. So just like that. So let's press this down again. And we'll glue this down. I'm going to use extra glue on this because it is much thicker. Okay, I'll put this here. Just gonna hold this down for a little bit. Make sure that that stays on good. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's start adding some of these tags. Let's see. Got some taller ones here, so let's put one here. And maybe one of these. And then in here, this one goes great. Add a smaller one. And maybe we will just add a little butterfly. Let's see. I have another pocket here too I could use. Let's see what other butterflies we have. We have this one. Let's do that. I haven't inked these up, so let me just ink this up. And also, in my last video, I did some resin. You could also do some resin on this too. I'm not going to do it in this video. Didn't want this one to be a long video. Just a fun one. Okay. And let's see, we got this pocket. So let's add, how about this? And maybe the smaller one. And maybe we'll do a butterfly here as well. Again, you can add gauze, you can add threads underneath these. I'm trying to make this as flat as possible because it's already bulky with all of the signatures inside. But you can do all kinds of stuff with these. Again, I'm probably going to add some trims and things like that. I just probably won't be doing it on camera, so I don't want to take everybody's time. I have one more pocket, so let's see. I think, nope, I got one there. Let's do it here. Okay. While we're here, let's add a butterfly. It would be really nice to add all kinds of other pieces of ephemera to this. Other laces, other trims. Let's see, this one should be ready, so let's add that. And this one. And then got a tuck spot here, so let's add, let's see. I think I do want to add this one. So tuck spot and maybe that one. Okay, so let's see. We got a pocket here. Add this and let's add her. She's gorgeous. And how about a butterfly? Maybe. Let's see. This one? I think this one. Okay. And let's see. We've got a tuck spot here. So let's add a couple of these cards. And then we have our pocket here. Let's see if we can't get this in here without any issue. It's a little bit snug on this one corner. I'm just going to take my scissors and let's just trim this down a tad. And we'll ink it up again. There we go. Let's snug in right there. I'm going to stick it out a little bit because I want it peeking out. And let's add a butterfly. And I'm only gluing the butterflies down on the center, so you literally could lift up the wings after it's dry. All right, I think we have another pocket that we added that I was waiting on to dry, this one. So we can add this and this. And okay. I think, let's see if I can pop this one out there, that way. And again, you can add eyelets. I've chosen not to. This part of the kit, it's already got these reinforcer things on there that's printable in the kit, so I just thought I would just go with it. Let's see, is there anything else? I have a couple of envelopes, so maybe we add one of these as a flip out. I think we could. Let's just take some of this ink and we'll just add some of it here. So when these are closed up, it's not going to look completely stark white. You could also stencil on this. Again, I'm just doing this in an easier fashion. And let's just glue these down. And then we will glue it to this as a flip. So let's glue it on just the bottom and this side here and this side here. And that way it's a little tuck as well. And you can add things in later. I have some of these like tickets that I haven't prepared, but you got a nice little tuck spot in there. So we'll let that dry. I have one more envelope that we can put together. I think I've inked this, but let me just make sure that I've inked around the whole thing. Then we'll fold it. So I think this side goes in here. And this side here, and then this is the bottom. So do we put that inside that way? Well, I guess not. Okay, this way. So let's just add a little bit of glue. Let's see. Add some here and here. Should secure that, and then let's fold this over. Like so. Let me add a little bit more glue here so this does not come up. Okay. Now we can add this as another. Let's go on the other side. And how about here? So let me ink the edges of this now that I've got this all glued together. Okay, so let's go up a little bit on this. And again, I'm just going to go down this edge and the bottom part. And that way you can tuck something in there. Okay, I have some tabs also. There's just a few. Let's see. I think there's 3. Sorry. So we could add tabs to the side with the 3 signatures. Let me just fold these over. I backed these as well so they're sturdier. Trying to see how much of this I can use up. Kind of my new motto is making sure you use up all the stuff, because I had a tendency to print it and then not use it, and then yeah, you end up with all of these digitals hanging around. So I'm trying to do better in that respect. So I think maybe we'll add these tabs, and then the last things I do have are some tickets here. So we might be able to do those as well. Okay. Oops, let me put this side. Okay. Let's see. How about, let's do it on the tea dye paper. Why not? Let's just add them. So we'll do one up here. Just make sure I just got the tea dye paper. And we'll glue that down there. Make sure that's nice and snug. And I'm going to use this side. Let's see, what do we got? We've got, these are different. Okay, so the next one, let's do the tea dye, and we'll come down kind of in the middle. Okay, so let's, whoops, I want to use this side. Let's go right about here. Make sure I just have the tea dye. Secure that one there. Oops. Okay. I think it's glued down good enough. Let me add a little bit more glue here. There we go. Okay. And then let's do this side. And we're going to do this one on the 3rd signature toward the bottom. The other thing you might want to do is to ink all of your pages. I did not do that, but you surely can. So let's see. I think about like here. What's nice about these is these will pop up on both sides. Both have a pretty print on either side. So we've added tabs, so that looks cool. Either way you turn it. And then I just have these tickets. So let's just add these someplace. Let me finish cutting these. And then we're going to cut these apart as well. So I'm not going to leave them in a strip. I have a 1/2 inch punch that I'll use to get the corners. do that. If you don't have a 1/2 inch punch, you can always use your scissors. Or if you have like a corner punch that has a ticket punch on it, you could use that. This one seems to work really well. It's just a little 1/2 inch punch that I've had for a long time. I got it when I was a demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Quite a long time ago. Okay, now we got this mess. Still have a butterfly to use. We've almost used up everything. Okay, let's ink these and we'll stick these in some of the envelope pockets that we just added. We can add these. And also, if you had any little ephemera pieces left over, you could slip them inside the envelopes so they can be used later. I think I have another set of tickets here as well. Oops. Okay, so we've got these. Let's see, I have one more set here. Let's just go ahead and cut these and punch them and go ahead and put these in as well. These holes are just a little bit bigger than my punch, but we will just ink them up. If you had like a 3/4 inch, that would probably work better. We'll just ink them up really good. And they don't look so bad. I hope you guys will give a flip-flop journal a try. This is, I think, my second one. I did a interactive flip-flop, which was just without any signatures, and it was just an interactive, so lots of flips and flaps and little doors and things like that that I put into it. Okay, so let's add some of these to our envelope pocket. Let's see, here we go. So on this side, let's add those and one of these, and let's do a couple of tickets. So just stick those in there, and then on the other side we have this one. So I can tuck in a couple of these here. And let's see, where else can we tuck in these last two items? Whoops. Oh, these small ones probably aren't the best there. Let's add another large one there. That's much better. And let's tuck these. You can add one here. Oh, let's do it this way. Stick it out the side. That can be peeking. And then maybe in this front pocket, we can just add two. And let's go ahead and add these two here. And that way we've added everything. All I have left is just a couple of pockets, which I don't plan on using. Okay, we are finished. And again, like I said, I may go back through, I may add some trims and things like that to it, but here's what we have so far. So this is our flip-flop. It's an autumn flip-flop. So we've got some pockets here, pockets here. We've already gone through the pages, so I won't waste your time with that again. We have a couple of tags and cards here. We also have the tabs, and we've added the envelope, which you can tuck things into. We also have paper bags in here, so you can open both the other end, and you can also tuck things in there as well. So we've added those, and the doilies you can always decorate. So we have tags here. And then on this side, we have a pocket with some tags and a ticket peeking out. And we have a pocket here with tags. We have just a tuck spot here. I think I'll put these more up here so that they can peek out. We have an envelope here. You can add some things into that. We have a tuck spot here with tickets. We have our pocket here with a very stiff card that goes inside. There we go. Butterflies. Butterflies here. More tags and tickets. Yeah. So that is our flip-flop. Now we can tie this with something. So I have some of this Sari Silk, which I just received, and I think this one would be great. So let's just cut a piece. Let's take off some of these strings here. I love Sari Silk. And let's just tie this up with a pretty bow on the front. And this is our autumn flip-flop journal. Okay guys, that's it for today. I'm so glad you joined me. Hopefully you hung in there with me. And I'll be back with another video on Friday. You guys have a great day. God bless you all, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye.